Hello, welcome to the 199 Enlisted Podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for 3 minutes. As usual, wearing clothes. Anna Ames has a few new videos out, so we're going to react to this one so we're not too far behind. I like to give her a few days before I react to her videos because, I don't want to take all her views away. This one is called Crack House Trip, the rapper pipeline built on exploitation. Um, I don't know. I've been to a few crack houses, but none of them were rappers. I go to the high class white crack houses because I like to sit down and enjoy my crack right after I buy it. Like I don't want to have to like leave the house instantly and hop on the metro. Anyway, let's see what she has to say. I'm sure it's a bullshit story, just like most of her other stories, but I'm sure it's gonna be funny.
Hello everyone. Last night I was in the hood and I would like to talk about it. I went to an event last Thursday and I sang and I got casted for this reality TV show, which I ultimately turned down because I felt like it was a little too trashy. Like it was one of those ones where they wanted you to fight on TV and be dramatic, and that's not me.
You mean reality TV is scripted? No. And that is her. She's a stripper.
I've never been in a fight in my life. I'm proud of that. I want to keep it that way. I don't believe that a woman like me should be fighting. That is the man's job. Yeah. So I didn't want to be in an environment where I'd have to be in a house.
Dude, with her arms, I mean, because her arms are huge. She'd probably kill a woman if she hit a woman. Like those are huge arms.
For 2 weekends and then do that. Sorry for my lack of captions, everyone. I tried, but I guess the video's too long, and because I filmed it on my phone instead of my camera, it was just hard for me to
That was a jarring transition. Why did she have to edit in saying sorry I didn't use captions? We can tell you didn't use captions because we're watching the video. There's no captions. Oh boy.
transfer the file, and it's really hard for me to do my little fingers and edit everything the way I want. So this is what you're getting. iPhone intermission. And someone I met from that event kept kind of pursuing me over the last week, even though I made it clear that I had a boyfriend. This is one of his places. But yeah, he kept pursuing.
Wait. Okay, wait. She has a boyfriend, but she's going to hood parties and this is why I don't understand. Okay, so he's super rich because this is one of his places. Okay, so if she has a boyfriend who is rich like that, why is she going to the hood to entertain? What that doesn't make sense. So I think this is what I think. She has a man that calls her up and like sleeping with her. I don't know what you call that, but she has a man that she sleeps with, and he happens to own a couple of whatever apartments, houses, and he doesn't really give a rat's ass about her because if you gave a rat's ass about your girlfriend, She wouldn't be a stripper. She wouldn't be going to the hood to entertain. I don't think she realizes how stupid she sounds. But okay.
Doing me kept calling me, and it like he did it under like a business pretense of, oh, like you're a star, like you're so great, I want to help you with your career, like you just don't have the right team, the right management. And he kept wanting to meet with me, so I finally agreed. And he was like just kept calling. And at first I was like, okay, like this guy is persistent, like I can respect that, you know.
You're a moron. Jesus Christ. And this is like another example of why I think she's trolling, because I can't picture a gonna use the manosphere red pill relationship channel term, a man of value. Well, why would a guy like that get with a girl like you? It doesn't make sense. And how many times you're gonna tell a story where you just come off as just the dumbest person in the room? So your ego is so big, you think someone is gonna be persistent and be like, you're a star, I gotta help you. You just have the wrong team. Like, you met this guy in the hood at a set. It just the party or whatever the place you went to sounds like it's like one rum and coke away from a shooting. That's what it sounds like. But okay.
No, curiosity got the cat. Like, I just want to see what he has to say. And then I agreed to meet with him.
Curiosity got the cat.
In retrospect, I know all this sounds like I should know better.
Yeah, you should. That's what I was saying. I hate these. She doesn't need to cut in. The contrast of both of these is just jarring.
And I should.
Yeah, because you're retarded.
And he sent me an address, which was weird because he had tried to meet with me like the day prior, and I turned it down because it just like was too late at night for me. And he initially had said it was gonna be in Midtown, and then the address he gave me was like way down south. And I went to the place down south and I met with him, and
I did Google it beforehand, but like
This comes off as another Anna Ames acting role. She's trying to show her duality of telling a story about how stupid she is, and then cutting in parts going, yeah, I'm stupid.
Google, it was showing like these nice houses. It's kind of hard to know if an area has been like gentrified or if it used to. I don't know. I don't have like the whole hood mapped out.
and when he was telling me about meeting him at the house, he was like, oh, I have a home office in the house. Yeah, like I have this whole setup where I stream and everything. Like, he made us sound very professional. And it was a house, so I was thinking it was a nice house. I pull up to the house, right? There's nothing wrong with that house. But 2 houses down was a crack house. Like, there were just people on crack in the front yard just hanging around, and it was like a converted church or something. And the guy, he told me later, like, oh, little baby lives like 2 neighborhoods down. Like, he's 2 neighborhoods behind us. Like, this place is active. And I don't want to talk too much shit about him, but I also feel somewhat justified in talking shit because I
See, this is real. Well, let's just pretend this is real. She's now putting, a crack house on blast on the internet. That's not good. See, this is, I mean, if this is real, this is the perfect example of divulging too much information. This is the perfect example of it's time to shut up. Not everything has to be on the internet. Um, like let's just pretend 2 blocks away there's a converted church where I live that they turned into a crack house. And I know it's gonna sound crazy. If I really did visit that place last week, I would not talk about it. Now, if it was something that was like 5 years ago, I would talk about it. But no, I am not going to talk about a active uh drug. I don't know, like it doesn't make sense. Like I'm going to actively talk about a I'm going to talk about an active drug. I don't know what you would call it, because it's a crack house, so it's not like it's a organized operation, but it's still producing crack, and so that means that at any given time it's gonna have at least a brick of cocaine there, and that's enough to get cops interested. That's also enough to get other people interested who want to steal it, or maybe or in competition and don't want this place selling crack in a neighborhood. I don't know. It's just nothing good comes out of talking about an active crack house. I mean, every story I have of a crack house is very past tense. We're talking, years. It doesn't exist anymore. So this is like the same thing she did when she had like a super rich client, and she was saying like where he lives, and then talking about his wife. Like that's I can't stand
I
her.
felt like
I felt set up. And I felt stupid. Because I should know better.
he kept trying to make passes at me when I said over and over I have a boyfriend, and then he was trying to talk shit about like the boyfriend part. Like,
I think, see, what women don't understand, mostly because women are stupid, but if a guy hits on you and you reject him, but you still talk to him, and then he hits on you again and you reject him, but you still talk to him, well, you're sending a message that it's okay. So the way to fix this is to never talk to this guy again. Because she's obviously not attracted to him because he's hit on her a bunch of times, and even though she has a boyfriend and she said she has a boyfriend, he doesn't care. So why are you still talking to this person? I mean, she is stupid. This is a perfect example of stupid, and this is her fault. Common sense would say, okay, this person likes me. I told them I'm in a relationship. They don't care. I'm now going over to their house. Like, I don't know. It's 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 so stupid. It's hard to believe it's real.
oh, your boyfriend, he should already see the greatness in you. I don't know why he's not trying to manage you too. Like just like trying to put doubts in my head about him.
I have a manager now. So that was the good point of all of this, because I definitely spent like 2 days being depressed after all of that.
So I feel okay shitting on this man. I didn't ask a lot of questions before I met with him. I just thought like,
You didn't think because you're stupid. And I bet you, I don't know the time frame, but she's gonna be making videos. My manager stole money from me. It's gonna be something.
let me just see for myself. And I'm glad I did, because it makes you wiser. You know, you put yourself through like risky situations. Sometimes it like goes really bad, and sometimes it just makes you wiser. And my intuition too of this first man, when I first
Was
met him, my
horrible.
intuition was right, and I just didn't listen. But anyways, I get in the
Sure,
house,
sure.
and there's already like a couple rundown cars in the yard, which is fine. But then I get into his house, then I get into this like home office he was talking about in his room, and I really don't want to shit on him because he was talking about like, oh, it took me a lot to like ask you over here and everything. But also in the back of my head, it's like, okay, but you also kind of want to fuck me too. Like you made.
So why are you there? Women are stupid. This and then also it's one of those things. It's probably not the whole story. She probably did sleep with him, and it's just changing the story. Because women do that too, you know. So who knows?
Made that clear. Over and over again, you made it clear. And over again, I made it clear that there was never going to be a universe in which that happened. But
No, you did not make it clear because you're still talking to him, you're still interacting with him, and you're hanging out with him. So you did not make it clear. Actions speak louder than words. Your actions show that you're interested because you're still talking to him, you're still interacting, and you're just showing up. So whatever.
I would also like to clarify too that me over and over again making it clear was when I had seen him in person. Like I said it over the phone many times, and then
Yeah. You were so clear. You went over his house. No, no. See, you're not clear, and this is why women are, well, they're not logical. So if I told a girl, hey, whatever, I don't know what I would say because I don't really talk to anyone anymore. But anyway, but like, hey, I like you. I don't care that you have a boyfriend. And she was like, no, I can't. I have a boyfriend. And then I go, hey, come over. She goes, okay. Well, I'm thinking I have a chance because why would you come over a man's house that has shown interest in you? And if you have a boyfriend, why are you talking to other guys anyway? I mean, so much is wrong. And I'm gonna assume that she's gonna be replaced pretty fast by this current quote unquote boyfriend because she obviously doesn't respect him. He doesn't respect her because if he respected her, well, you don't date a stripper. You know, I just can't picture a man with like, you know, like a rich guy like that, like, you know, respecting her because, you know, he wouldn't have her going over these places, you know, like if he gives her just like free run to do whatever she wants, it means he doesn't respect her.
but he was one of those like so many men use this tactic too, and they're always like, oh, I bet there's so many guys throwing themselves against you, like it's the music industry, and but they act like they're on my side when they're usually the ones that aren't. So that usually gets me, and it gets me good.
anyways, this man's space, like it was dirty. Like the mattress was folded in half. There was no room for anything. And then he tells me he's 41, and then he tells me he's been like in and out of jail for some bullshit with his car and driving, and then his car got repoed, and just like bullshit after bullshit. And then
And you still stayed.
he was very into music, like extremely into music, and he listened to some of mine. I stayed for like an hour and a half because I didn't want to be rude. But then after he touched me, he like touched me like because he was trying to get me up to do karaoke, and then he touched me, and I was just like, I got to take my dog out. Goodbye, and I left. But
And I also felt uncomfortable leaving sooner too because I had already seen this man's calendar for the next month, and I realized, there's probably a high probability I'm going to see him again in person. And there's probably an even higher probability that I will know more people than he knows. So I wanted to like leave and it not not make a scene.
You're retarded. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. I I think this is her most entertaining video ever. I I am in awe at how stupid she is. This is better than her whatever her first video where she was like, what was it like God, what did she say, like 3,000 minus 1,000 is 1,000 or something. Something like, she did something that it was basic math, and she got it wrong. So yeah, this trumps that by far.
He was trying to do that like psychological thing people do where they praise you and then they cut you down at the same time. And he was telling me, oh, like you're a star, like I see it, like you just don't see it. Here's what you did right, here's what you did wrong. And then I told you I found out he's 41. He looked 20, he really did. I just didn't like look close enough to see the grays because I didn't think I had to. Like he acted like he was in his 20s, which made sense the more I found out about him. But he was very driven. He was very into events, very into celebrity culture. Like, it honestly felt like he was a groupie, like an old groupie. And I
So what? What does that mean? He's really into music. He has Spotify. Oh my god. I don't know. Wow. There's this. I hope this is made up. God damn it. Like her. How many times do we watch her videos and I go, I hope this is made up. I hope this is fake. She's got to be trolling. This has got to be an audition tape. Like, that's how bad every story or whatever video she does. It's like, oh. And then like it makes sense that she uses tarot cards. Like is that even real? Like, you would think a person that has like 6 tarot card decks would have known, not to go to the crack house. I don't know. Like, isn't that like when you pull the card and it's like, an upside down lady luck or something? I don't know. Whatever.
felt like maybe he was trying to come across genuine, but how I felt was this is somebody who's trying to attach themselves to me because they see something in me, and this is a dangerous situation for me to be in.
He had a small collection of books too, and one of the books he had was my favorite book, The Art of Seduction.
Oh God, I thought she was gonna say "Go Dog Go." I thought she was gonna say "Green Eggs and Ham." Oh God. Um, Dr. Seuss top 10. Oh my God. So you're telling me this? Oh God, I can't. This is where she lost me. I doubt there is no way in hell this guy has the book called The Art of Seduction. Just no way.
And I thought to myself, I was like, this man has 5 books. Why would a 41-year-old man need The Art of Seduction? Because usually men, they'll go for the 48 Laws of Power. Like, they don't care about the seduction. Like, the seduction, that's a woman's game. And I have The Art of Seduction. That's my favorite book. But that's also how I make a living. And then it all made sense. This is what he does. He lies.
The more I got to know him, I felt like it was making me reanalyze.
This gives off teenage movie vibes, like one of those smart ones where it's like Emma Stone and she's like talking about her day, whatever, and then it flashes back to the handheld camera one. Well, and then it goes and then it continues the story. Then flashback to her like blah 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 blah. That's what it seems like. So yeah, I really think this is an acting role. There's no way that this is real because it's following the format of so many movies I've seen from like like the teen movies, like Rachel Lee Cook or something like that, or like Emma Stone did a few too. So that's the vibe I'm getting. Yeah, I just refuse to believe that a real person would be this retarded. There's no way she's this stupid. I mean, if she's 25 years old and is a stripper, she doesn't know that that guy was just trying to get over the house. Like the whole situation just seems so obvious.
How I saw music, because when I was first like very into music, very much trying to get out there, um, singing every chance I could, meeting all these like crazy people. When I was into it, I met all these other people, but it was never about the music for them. It was about the fame and then getting out of their situation. And I met people like him before. Like I knew a couple photographers that were just like him, where they would track these celebrities and their events that I really couldn't give two shits about. Like, and they would track those events, show up to those events, get around all these people, feel important, and then it's like,
Dude, I am so distracted by how gigantic her arms are. Like she must power lift, right? She must be a power lifter. Like she is jacked. God.
but go back to what? I don't want to talk shit. Well, you know what?
All
Fuck it.
you
I'm going
do
to
is
talk
talk
shit. I'm
shit.
going to talk shit because
All you do is talk shit.
I've been at low points in my life, and
Yeah, you're at one now. You're a stripper. You're a 25-year-old stripper. You should be a housewife. What are you doing? The only thing a woman has to offer is her fertility, and she's wasting it at a strip club.
I thank God I was not raised in extreme poverty like that, so I cannot relate to that. But I also grew up with two older sisters who were severely disabled that I had to take care of, that are now like in a home part time. Like I grew up in a very abusive setting already, and then this 41-year-old man is telling me like, oh yeah, like I live a lonely lifestyle, like my dad doesn't like me and I didn't have family growing up. And it's like, you're 41, that doesn't matter anymore. I'm 25 and I feel weird talking about like how I grew up, because it's like in my mind it's behind me.
But you bring it up every 3 videos, so it's not behind you. Is this on purpose too? I can't tell. Oh god. She is a mystery. She is a mystery. She has done she has done at least 10 videos complaining about her whatever past or upbringing. I know that for a fact because I've reacted to all her videos. So she's complaining. Never mind. Whatever.
In my mind, it's not an excuse for where I should be. And then when I saw the Art of Seduction book, and that was like one of his main 5 books, I was just, it's like, okay, I'm getting played right now. And he said something too. He was like, he sat me down. He's like, oh, I bet no one's ever talked to you like this before. Nobody's told you what I'm telling you. Nobody's cared enough to tell you the truth. And it's like, that's such a bullshit line. I've heard that so many times before. One of my producers that I worked with, who was trying to like basically do the same thing he was, said that same shit to me like 6 months ago.
Why? This is what I don't understand. Why not just get a female producer? they have women that can produce. I mean, it's really easy to be a producer. Well, the hardest part is just getting all the equipment. Like the soundboard and the recording equipment. But you know, and it helps if you're a musician. But even if you're not a musician, you can just find a musician to help you lay down tracks. If you. So I don't know. It's you. There's okay. Being a producer is so common that there's no excuse to use the producer that works out of a crack house. That's what I'm saying. Like it's very like it's. I was in a band one time, and one of the songs was like this R&B song, and I'm like, listen, I'm not an R&B person. You need to find a music producer. Because like I put all the music to everything because I was talented, and I'm like, what, you should find a music producer to make this R&B song. And I remember the girl was like, "Well, where am I gonna find one of those?" Because if you don't know anything about music, you probably think of music producers like this hard thing to find. And I was like, "Well, listen, we live in LA. You have lots of friends, right?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I bet you one of your friends is a music producer. You just don't know because you guys never had that conversation. Just ask." She goes, "Okay," and it turns out one of her friends was a music producer. We went over his apartment and made the song. Like and he had a laptop and some recording equipment, and he had the computer program. I think he had Pro Tools, and we made the song. I mean, it's so and it took. It wasn't that long, it took like because like we didn't record the singing, we just recorded the music. Just like he made the drum track, I played guitar so he could see what it sounds like. Then he played guitar. Oh no, I played guitar so he could see how it sounds like. Replaced the guitar with keyboards, so he played keyboards and recorded that. So it's as long as you have like one or two people who have basic music knowledge, music theory knowledge, whatever, you can make any song. So yeah, there there is no excuse for her to be going to a crack house music producer. Okay, there's probably someone in her apartment building who's a music producer. Why doesn't she? Because she's a social media person. Why doesn't she make TikToks and Instagram posts and YouTube videos going, "Hey, I'm looking for a producer." I'm sure there's you know I want to say like at least 30 in her area who are reputable people, not trying to sleep with her. If they saw her asking for one, I mean, I'm sure if someone sees this, she'll probably get some traction. But it's not that hard. That's like looking for an actor in Los Angeles. Okay, well there's millions of them. So there's no excuse to hire the guy with a heroin problem, you know.
And everyone tells me, oh, you have like such a talent, like you can't give up, like you have to keep going. But people don't understand, like, on your way to get to wherever everyone thinks you're supposed to go, there's all these people along the way that try to attach themselves to you, and it's really like the crab in the bucket. And they try to attach themselves to you, but then it just ends up hurting you in the end. Like, what business do I have being friends with somebody who lives 2 houses down from a crack house, who's double my age, saying he wants to manage me, saying that, oh, I'm not Diddy, but I can get you connected.
To
And I
baby
just
oil?
like, I was just disgusted. Like, I could see all the, and he kept saying, it's my job to provide value for you. Like, he wanted to take headshots of me, I said no. He wanted to like sit down and write a song with me, I said no. And it kind of frustrated me too, because I showed him some of my music, and immediately I told him, I was like, the production's not the best. Like, I did this in my room a couple years ago when I didn't have like the greatest ear, and then he was showing me his music, and I was sitting there like, okay, yeah, your production's good, but there's no depth in here. Like, you want to talk about stage presence and dancing and all of that, but like, you don't have talent. Like, I actually have talent. Like, I'm
Oh God. I don't like her singing. I just don't. Mm, Now I know, I'm a punk rock singer, you know, um, college rock, indie rock singer. So maybe it's not my cup of tea, but there's groups and artists that I don't like that I can still say professionally. Okay, like I don't like Taylor Swift, but I think she's a good singer and she's a good entertainer. Like, you can say what you want about her, but just from the professional side, she's very talented. Even though I don't like, like I don't like her lyrics. I think I think a lot of Taylor Swift's hits are hits just because she's Taylor Swift and people like her. So her base fan base, like her, I'm sorry, her core fan base is so big that she can put out anything and it'll still trend. But there are just some lyrics I'm just like, what? Now her older stuff, the lyrics were better. Yeah, it's like the more music she puts out, the worse her lyrics get. So it's like the last couple of albums, I'm like, whoa, those are anyway. But yeah, back to Anna. Yeah, I just I can't picture her being a singer. I just don't think it's in the cards for her. Now, I can see her being an actress because everything she like all these YouTube videos she's put out, that's an actress. It's got to be an actress, and I could be very entertained watching her act as like the kooky crazy neighbor or something. Like I don't know, like she could be on like Two Broke roles. Like she'd be perfect for a role like that, you know. But her singing to me is cringe. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. I just did not. I am not entertained watching her sing. I am not captivated by her voice. It sounds like she's trying. It sounds like she's doing an impression of a singer. That's what it sounds like when she sings. The dancing, it looks like she's doing an impression of a dancer. For her to be a better, and see, that's another thing. It's because like she's kind of big. It's weird. It's like she's not fat, but she's big. Like if she would, I guess she's lifting weights. If she would fix, if she would slim down instead of being buff, that would probably make her dancing look better. But her dancing looks like a muscle mommy doing an impression of a dancer. So I don't know. I don't think she's in the right profession.
I'm not, I know my weak points, but you can't just like sit here, talk about how great I am, and then shit on me at the same time to like lower me, to make it seem like you're above me when I'm sitting in a mess. And I would never let myself get there. And I understand like the mentality of, oh, like this is what we're used to. Like, we can't get better being in the hood. Like, it's so hard to get out, and there's only this way, and that way. I disagree. I really do, because as long as you have connection to an internet, you can get out of any situation. Doesn't take that much, honestly. Like, if you wanted to move to a new city and start over, all you really need is 5K. And maybe you don't even need that. Maybe you just need a credit card with a limit of 5K and a prayer. That's what I did. I came to Atlanta with, by the time I got here, like 3K in my account. And I've made a good life for me now. So seeing someone who's like 41 still stuck in this cycle and expecting these celebrities and this like promise of major fame to get them out, it's just so stupid to me. And he kept saying to me, he's like, so what's your plan with this? Like, how serious are you about this? And I was just sitting there like confused.
So I'm just gonna call him a crack dealer. Think of how absurd, if this is real, think of how absurd that statement was. Oh, wow.
Like, who signed me up for this? Like, I've already been down the road of like, oh, this is what I want, this is what I'm serious about.
When he was asking me too about how serious I was about music, I had this direct flashback to a time when I was working in a recording studio and this new girl came in and she was like the golden child. Like, I was like the white, harder to market person. Well, not harder to market, but at least in Atlanta, a little harder to market. And then she came in, had a kid, was complaining about her lights being off. And then I remember her like confronting me and she was like, oh, are you serious about this shit? Like, how far are you actually gonna take this? Like, and I was being paid to work there. She was just there for funsies. And she ended up getting a record deal and she didn't do that much with it. And this was like a year ago. I had like a direct flashback to that when he was asking me, how serious are you about this? Like, what?
I'm trying to get my master's. I start school in the...
Oh, shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. Oh, God. Well, the one thing about everything, it's just based on luck. You know, I've played with, I don't know how many, a lot of musicians, and some of them are better than stuff you hear on the radio, and you know, you're like, wow, that's the most talented guitarist, whatever, drummer, whatever. That's the best singer I've ever seen or heard. And it's just a person playing in someone's backyard or at a random party. It's just because they don't know the right people, and they just, you know, it just is how life is. So it's the same with YouTube. There's people who have 300K subscribers and their YouTube channel's 3 months old. And then there's people with 100 subscribers and their YouTube is 15 years old. It's just luck.
A month. I'm paying for my tuition with that. So someone asking me how serious am I about music, like how serious am I about putting money into something that most likely will not give me a return back, and will only give me a return back if I already build a platform somewhere else like YouTube or TikTok. Like, I literally have to do something else for there to be any return back on the music. So it just pissed me off. It's just like this hood mentality of you only have a couple options to get out of here. And if you have an internet connection, you have access to free YouTube, and if you just listen to videos that support your delusions over and over, it's going to get you out of your situation. And I really cannot be around that energy. I had a conversation with some people too that I just feel icky around now, and we used to be good friends, and in a short time I feel like I greatly increased my income. I don't want to talk about how, but I increased.
Well, you're a stripper. You have an OnlyFans account. I mean, I'm just assuming you're an escort.
My income, and then I got my plan together, and I have my direction together, and I'm really set. It's gonna take a lot more work, but I'm really set for the rest of my life. And it's just weird for people to be trying to like prey on my dreams of being a singer when it's not like a dream anymore. Like my dream right now is money. Like I would love to go back to the music, but not going back to the music for money. It is not like the right vehicle to get there. But talking about like the friends thing, I had a couple and I'm still friends with them, but it's just weird. Like I was closer to them when I was in a worse spot, and that was comforting. But now it's like they got every excuse in the book to not be where they're at, and then the way they look at me, and then my judgment of these situations that I was like re-exposed to, it's like you think I'm too good for you, and then you resent me for what I've worked for, and you feel like you can't get it yourself when you've watched me day after day working. Just fucking pissed me off. Oh my god. Like I was talking to someone yesterday, and I just happened to run into them, and I went to get my oil change yesterday. Come to find out, they put the wrong oil in my car because I went to this other location that scammed me. And when I went yesterday, I went like early, like before my mileage was due, because I saw like a flash of my oil light. And then I went there, and then they said that they put the wrong oil in my car, because usually I get the synthetic blend, but I've had my car for a while now, so it technically should, well, she was saying it should have like the full synthetic now, and that it should be like
She? No wonder it went wrong.
for high mileage. And she was saying it was dried up. And then when I was telling one of my friends about this, they were like, oh, like you probably have an oil leak, like this is really bad for your engine, like you might as well get a new car. You can afford it.
What?
Why don't you get a new car?
Just fix the
You
leak.
can afford it. I mean, might as well just get a new car. And I said, I'm waiting. I'm paying for my master's right now, and then I'll get a new car. But it's just like this weird resentment. It's really hard for me to describe it. Like you wouldn't get it unless you were in it. But it's just like this envy and like hatred that, yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what she's talking about, actually. Because, like, when she. And this is every time she talks. Because this isn't the first time she's talked about people being jealous or whatever. She loses me. I just. Who is jealous of a stripper? I'm not. Being a stripper is. Or, sorry. The sex industry is the one industry that no parent, no friend, no one, just you don't want someone you care about to be in the sex industry. You know, no parent wants their child to be in the sex industry. If you had a best friend, you wouldn't want them to be in the sex. Like it's just nothing to be jealous about. It's something to feel, I don't know, pity. You feel sorry for the person. I don't know. It's and then even with her, because of her real job of being a stripper, that frames how every social interaction she has is gonna happen. And I could have said that a lot better. Being a stripper frames every social interaction she has. So, you know, maybe that guy in the crack house would have been a little more respectful if she was, once again, a barista at Starbucks. You know, it's just how it is.
Yeah, and then it's also I used to love lying to people and making them think I was like broke, but it really hurts my pride. I know it's better for me, but it really hurts my pride. So I'm okay with appearing broke, but I also just want like a little flash every now and then, cuz
What?
I'm not rich. I wouldn't even say I'm middle class, but I'm definitely not living next to a crack house and okay with that. God. Yes, this is my rant. And I feel like people in the music industry.
Wait a moment. I thought. Okay, well, so she didn't really go to the crack house. She went to a house next to a crack house, but a house next to a crack house probably isn't a good house. But okay, I understand.
They specifically prey on people in poverty with these dreams of fame and fortune just to exploit them for either views, money, talent, all of that. I just don't agree with it. Man, I'd rather be with the snobby white people than be back down in the hood. And that's
No shit. That's probably the smartest thing she's ever said.
not my first time down there either.
Yeah, but don't go down there anymore.
I feel like people keep thinking I don't know what's up and then they want to like get me to visit there.
You don't know what's up because if you knew what was up, you'd stop going there. Why are you going there in the first place? What successful person like do you think a real like a successful music producer is going to live there? No, they're not. But okay.
To see how I'll react. I grew up middle class, but I grew up in Tampa and I lived like half a mile from the hood. It was a nice house. Everything else around it was pretty shitty. If you're from Tampa, you'll understand. If you're not from Tampa, you can just shut the fuck up. So it's just weird for me to like, for people to. uh, yes. Okay, goodbye, everyone.
You're
Thanks for
retarded.
listening.
I swear to God, she's retarded. Once again, another video that didn't really do anything. She didn't have to make this video. But anyway, whatever. I've seen enough. You guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Peace.